Hey friends, today I want to share an interesting experience with you.
Not long ago,
I ran into a bit of a problem. My wall clock suddenly stopped ticking.
at first I wasn't sure what was wrong.
But after a quick check, I discovered the issue was quite simple. The battery had died. But instead of just replacing it like most people would, I thought, why not try something a little more creative? Rather than running out of ideas, I actually came up with something pretty unique and unusual. I decided to build an alternative mechanism to keep the clock running, more as a fun experiment than a real fix. The idea involved using some everyday objects you can easily find at home.
I used an old syringe as a makeshift driver, added a spring,
and a few other surprising components to bring this idea to life. The whole process was incredibly fun to work on. Although it took a bit of time and some parts were a bit tricky, I truly enjoyed each step.
That's what made it all the more exciting and rewarding.
I think you'll find it interesting too. Not only is the concept creative,
But it's also educational in its own way.
I've documented every part of the process in detail, step by step, so you can follow along easily. So I highly recommend watching it all the way through. Who knows?
Maybe it will inspire you to build your own version, or even spark a new idea for a completely different project. Enjoy watching, and I hope it sparks your creativity.